Hi there, Malcolm here with my 245th Booktube video, and today I'll be bringing a review of Five Ghosts, Book 1, The Haunting of Fabian Gray, by Frank J. Barbier. This is another one I spotted in the library. I thought, oh, Book 1 of something, give it a go. Yes, how rare is it to find Book 1 of a thing in a library? And in this one, you're really thrown into the middle of the story. Fabian Gray is, I suppose, an Indiana Jones style character, archaeologist, acquirer of lost relics sort of character. And in a previous adventure, which we've learned about through flashbacks, he gets exposed to shards of a dream stone, and as a result of which he is possessed by five ghosts, or five literary ghosts, I should say. And he calls upon each ghost to help him get out of a situation. And the introduction really is him going through a series of scenarios where he needs this ghost to do that bit, this ghost to do that bit, so on and so forth. So much like some of those video games where you play one character out of a eclectic mix of characters, and whenever you reach a particular barrier, you can swap and become a different character that is best suited to dealing with that situation. And the characters are, as far as I can tell, are printed on the back here. So we have Sherlock Holmes, a wizard. It's not named as to which wizard. Merlin would be the obvious choice, but I don't think it's him necessarily. I don't know. I've got nothing to say one way or the other. Robin Hood, some samurai, and if not Dracula, then at least some vampire type character. Again, not named, and I assume it's Robin Hood, and I assume it's Sherlock Holmes, although Pipe and Deerstalker, and he uses that ghost to deduce scenarios, situations, find the loose cobble, the ink smudge on the fingertip, whatever it happens to be. But of course, magic always comes with a price, and using these ghosts takes a lot out of him, and the guy does spend a lot of the time unconscious. Anyway, back to the story, because I haven't actually mentioned anything about that yet. There is a story in here. Basically, he's on a quest to try and reverse what has happened to his sister when he got imbued with the five ghosts. His sister got knocked into a coma and is presumably living in the dream world. Meanwhile, some nefarious bad guys are wanting the Dreamstone shards for themselves, for bad things. There's certainly a Nazi in there somewhere. Gives an idea of the time period that this is set, leading to some pretty epic encounters with some bad guys wielding some pretty powerful stuff. Oh, and there's also a tribe of Spider-Men, because why not? The artwork is pretty interesting. I quite liked it. I'm not normally a great fan of this style, but for the story I thought it worked really well. But also each chapter start has a very retro style front page tying into the period in which it was set, which I also really appreciated. So yeah, it looks quite good. The story was intriguing. There was a lot of mystery in the backstory where, you know, we get a slow trickle of what happened and how he came to be possessed by these five ghosts. I want to mention actually about the vampire one. The other four have their uses, but when he's outnumbered horribly, then having a immortal blood-sucking being as his new focus comes in very handy, but it does mean stepping over the line to the dark side, and it's a power that is not easily relinquished once it's in place. Let's say all magic comes with a price, and the vampiric one is a particularly hefty cost, but badass when it goes down. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I did find the story perhaps a little loose. Like I say, there's a lot of backstory to find out how we got to where we are now. And then the ongoing plot, there's, let's say, bad guys in the background, and they send one of their minions off to do this thing, which results in a quite epic encounter, but very much the sort of the bad guys are playing behind the shadows. They haven't been revealed yet, at least to the main characters. And having read some pretty heavy graphic novels with lots of text, this one did feel a lot lighter. There's not as many words on the page. This is a pretty extreme example. They're not as all thinly worded as these two, but that's an example of the content in here. And yes, with a graphic novel, you are supposed to read the pictures as well, which is a skill in itself for those who go, graphic novel, that's not proper reading. But I'd say probably felt a bit light compared to some of the other ones, although the content is quite dark. Then arguably it could be an easier read, you know, particularly if you like looking at the pictures. On this one, for example, lots of action in there, and with the exception of a few sound effects, there's no dialogue at all. Not a complaint, just an observation, and certainly if I were to ever see a volume 2 lying about, I would but be very tempted to pick it up and read it. Worth buying. So have you read Five Ghosts, The Haunting of Fabian Grey, or any of the rest of the series? Does it pan out well as a series? And no spoilers, please, obviously. But and what do you think about the content of graphic novels? Do you prefer lots of words on a page in a panel, or do you prefer more picture, or a hefty balance? And I must say, some graphic novels, when you pick them up and you open them up just to see, what's it like, and you just see wall-to-wall text in a panel, you think, ugh, I'm not doing all that reading. That's what we do. Far too much reading in a graphic novel. I don't know, I think there's a happy balance to be made somewhere. But really feels heavily influenced by Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider, those sort of stories. So comments down below, please. But as usual, if you have nothing nice to say, then please keep it to yourself. Thank you, and until next time, see you later.